Morning. I'm going to do a river scene in watercolour. Well, try to do a water scene. I'll sketch it out for you, just roughly. I base it on others of the river, my river Wandle, but other rivers, small stream type rivers, not great big Amazonian types. But before I start, I just want to show you these two brushes that I bought to the Art in Action event 3 weeks ago. And on the last day, on the Sunday, the last day, a lot of artwork was being sold off, and a lot of material suppliers were selling things for cheap. And I picked up these two brushes. Well, I picked up two of those. So number 8, Kolinsky Sable for £4. I bought two for £8. This one is a number 14. It's more of a mop, but lovely brush. Kolinsky Sable, £25. It's so cheap. So I won't use that one. This is my standby brush. But what I usually do is just nick it so the hairs are tight together, put it back in its little cover. And that one I'm going to use for doing bits of greenery on sort of spring or autumn foliage. Right, here's my palette. It's lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, night red, ultramarine, burnt umber, paintway and burnt sienna. And my 2-inch was somewhat less than 2-inch hake. I did buy a new one for £4 at the art discount, the Art in Action. So first thing, I'll wet the paper all over, or the brush is a bit dirty, but never mind. It's clean water. I'll just change the water in my pot. I've got the board at about a 60-degree angle here. For my regulars, I was chatting to Alan Owen last night. When we got on the phone, we go on for ages and ages. We have a lot to talk about, and we share anecdotes and comments, YouTube in general, the weather, painters. We just have a lovely chat once or twice a week, and it's lovely. And Alan uses the rounds, and I think it's largely through him having sables that made me spend my money. But I have got a squirrel mop, and he uses those, but my one is just a bit big, just a bit heavy. I've got nylon sable mixes, but I don't really use them. I've tried to use them and they don't hold a lot of water, not like the sable. This is Fabriano, £30 weight, Curtis Ward art or Granthams. They supply 50 sheet or 100 sheet blocks, whoever's the cheapest really. So I'll warm up the sky with a bit of well, not ultramarine, not yet. I just want a bit of sienna. I kept my palette in a plastic document, zip case from yesterday, just to keep the paste a bit moist. Right, that will do. Keep it nice and moist. Otherwise, you'll get your cauliflowers, which we don't want. This is very good paper, the Fabriano, for this. I'm using up my Canson blocks of paper that I bought in America for the acrylics, but I'm going to do some more acrylics when I've done this one. I really do like acrylic painting. Bring that down there, just water's going to come around here. Okay. I don't really want to put any shadow in there. Then the clouds, that's fine. Probably the paper's just a little bit wet. But while it's, yeah, see, we're going to get a cauliflower there if we're not careful. I'm going to dry it a little bit. Just take your headphones off. I haven't dried it bone dry. I don't really bone dry. Have a piece of cloth nearby where you can. Look, I'll show you. I've got there's my little desk. I put my palette on there. I think Stephen Cronin holds his, but I'm happy working on this, and I always sit down. My back aches after a while. Right, so we'll put in some background. Let's. I'll use my hake. So bit of nice background colour, bit of lemon yellow. Let's have a bit of warm sienna. Why not? Just a bit of loose background and sort of autumny colours in here. Bit of alizarin in there as well. But don't want it too warm. We'll just get that all about across here. A bit of blue in there, over the top here. Just to show distance. Oops. What's happening here? Got rogue hair sticking out the side. Right, okay, let's get some dark sienna-y, banky blue. While I'm at it, I'll just lay down some reflections off of this. I don't know where this is going. I'm just making it up. I want to keep some light in there now. Right, let's just do some lifting out here. And we'll get some heavier, nice foliage in here now. So it's drying a bit, we'll come up here with some across there. Plenty of colour. Blue, sienna. Just dragging the reflections down there. Nice heavy. But real good hard, thick, almost dry paint for the shadows in here. And we'll do the same. I'm working from an old painting, but just using it as a base. Now I want some light on one side of this, so we'll try to make the sides different. Nice heavier blues. See that this paper's dry now. Need to wet that a bit more because we're dry brushing a bit too quick. I want the background in first. So I'll just go around here. Nice grassy. a bit. Right, the river's coming round here. I might put some little rocks in here, just to add a bit of interest. Trouble is my sides are looking the same, aren't they? Bit of random stuff now. Nice bit of dark, bit of red. Nice lot of colour in this. Red. Right, bit hard, and let's put in some rocks. Just a bit of texture in that foreground, and we'll just little bits here, just and getting bigger as we're coming into the foreground, but don't overdo this. It's a great technique, but I overdo it a lot because I get carried away. And it's very easy to get carried away when something is on the surface of things very easy to do, and this is easy to do, but you've got to be a bit creative with it. See, look, when you scrape the paint, it moves, and it creates a shadow as well. So you're doing two planes, but you can enhance. Bigger in the foreground, and I can do a bit more on that as and when now. Okay, so that's quite interesting. So now with the hake, we'll put in, starting the other side, some nice grey sort of colour. It's all silhouette really. The Payne's grey, not Payne's grey, I haven't used Payne's grey. Ultramarine and burnt sienna. That will give us a sort of a tree dark. You can make a bit green if you want. But let me go to that. Okay, so we'll just come up here with some trees. The hake is lovely for this sort of hit and miss. I usually have to finish with a rigger. But no, we've got to put a bit of shadowy growth in here. I think with watercolours it's good to try to create sort of a sense of mystery. We can put the reflections back in there. Get your trunks thicker as they go down to the base. It sounds obvious but easy to miss, as I just did. So just tapering gradually. And we're just putting some background, a bit more blue in there. And I can superimpose some foliage on there. Okay, let's use the rigger now. I also bought this rigger. A number 3 rigger, it's a nylon rigger. All that at the Art in Action. Lots of twigs and branches. And holds quite a bit of water. Quite a thick line with it. So I'm using nice thick straight that down. The shadow I saw in there. Okay, so that'll do for one of them. Bit of work in the background, but light's blue. This river doesn't exist, by the way. It's just a river, could be any, or a stream, bit of water. It's plenty of water, sky and foliage really, isn't it? Alright, so let's get our stuff back here. Let's get one in there, big one in there. Thicker ones this side. Nice and dark on there, otherwise it won't register. We want thick trunks here. This could be a silver birch. And with a card, turn that silver birch, just well, I'll let that go there. I don't want to do too much of this. I just want to finish today. Oh, lunchtime. Right, we can work. Right, we've got to put some leaves, some autumn leaves on this. Trying to keep it impressionist. Now I want some shadow in here, bit of texture, just a bit of thick paint just on here, just add some bit of interest to this foreground. Well, it's still fairly fresh. We'll need to lift out some of that and put in some reflection. So this all sort of says water now. Look at it underneath. Otherwise, it's offset. I can't see because I'm blocking you. And we'll put a little one there. Okay. Right. Now with this number 8. we'll put in some autumny leaves, so a bit of blue in there. I know with birches the leaves are very small, but I'll might stipple just a few darker bits over this. Just using a bit of blue in the mix just to make it a little bit dark. I'll put a few more. Could put a few dark greeny, not all very immediate. I'll put in some more rigour to connect up some of these clumps of leaves with some harder stuff, just so that they bit of yellow in there, I think. Okay, that will do with that. I'll get back with the hake. Now, just bring this bushels back together. Now, with your hake, give it a good clean, then just squeeze the water out of it and dry it on a dry piece of cloth. And I want some. Well, having done that, I'm going to wet it, but not for long. I want some dark bits in there now. You don't have to use the hake to do this, but easily it's darker. Right, that'll do it. That won't reflect. I'll do a bit more rigour work now. So this is quite a good brush. Well, more than quite a good brush, it's an excellent brush. But in this exposition, lovely day out for us South Londoners to go up near Oxford. And they had all sorts of wonderful demonstrations. Glass blowing was wonderful to see. Great day out. So if you live not too far away and you're in an art group and you're in the UK or England, Scotland might be a bit far to come. If you get a chance to go, get a coach together and have a lovely day. Look out for it online and in the adverts. It's well worth the effort. We had a smashing day. We did have fabulous weather. You could take picnics with you if you don't want to spend any money on the refreshments that you can buy there. I see people making bits for clocks, carving figureheads for new but old style boats, sailing boats, big. It was absolutely superb. We thought, what are we going to do for 5 hours? We'd be round this in no time, but we weren't. And when we got round, it was nearly time to come home. We could have gone round again. Well, I think that's a good brush for not much money. That really does work. Beauty. Well, I'll give it a signature. I'll put it in the mount. Payne's grey, I think. Which it didn't use. So colours I didn't use burnt umber, didn't use the Payne's grey, and I didn't really use the alizarin. I only used a little bit of the light red. Burnt sienna I used mostly. Burnt sienna, ultramarine, yellow ochre, and lemon yellow. And that was fine. Just because you have all these colours, you don't have to use them. I wonder if we could put a figure somewhere, just to give a bit of scale to everything. Just stand there. It's a bit dark. Oh, a couple of little figures there. Let's just put a bit of heavier stuff in there, so it looks, make it look as if they're standing on something. Right, bird. Okay. Right, let's blue mount it. So I haven't done the acrylics for a month, or the best part of a month. You lose your way with them. It's easy to get out of the swing of doing things. Let's go up a bit. No, let's keep that like that. So, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my inch brush, bit of tissue. I'm just going to lift out a bit of this water. It needs to be, it's a bit too solid. So wet my brush, squeeze most of the water out, and then just go across here, wind ruffle. Just adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi. Right, that will do. Right, I'm reasonably pleased with that for I didn't know what to paint today job. So there it is, just a quick impression of my local river. Impression of it doesn't exist. I made it up, but I have painted things like this quite a lot. I don't think it's a great painting or anything, but I enjoyed the background. I used the little brush, or the number 8. Could have done more with it, I suppose. But I do like the hake, and I like these colours, these sort of muted colours, and the rocks. Well, it wouldn't be my local river because we haven't got any rocks in it. It could be somewhere in Wales or Cornwall even. Not all Cornwall's hilly. It's the cliffs are high, and the coast is beautiful, but the land itself is quite flat in a lot of places. Anyway, enough for me. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you soon.